Hello students, here we are going to see about structures in C. This is Gokila, Department of Computer Science with Cybersecurity, Dr. S.N.S. Rajalakshmi College of Arts and Science. So what is a structure? A structure is a collection of variables with different data types. When we declare about the difference between the array and the structure, array is the collection of homogeneous data types, whereas structure is a collection of heterogeneous data types. The heterogeneous data types means that a collection of variables which have different data types. For example, now consider these elements which have name, roll number, class test, middle term, final, grade, etc. Whereas name can be declared in the data type called as character, whereas roll number can be declared in the data type called as roll number, and the class test and midterm and final can be declared in the variable called as integer, and the grade can be declared in the variable called as character. So these are collection of different data types which can be shared by a common structure where we can give a name to the particular structure. So the structure terminology. A structure is a group of items which may be of different types. Each item is identified by the identifier, and the member and the field of the structure is also identified by the identifier. A structure is sometimes called as record, and the record is also used by a particular name. Structure is the basics of C++ and Java. So this is an example of a structure. Whenever we are using a structure, we have to use a keyword called as struct followed by the structure name. So this is a collection of the same data types, whereas we can use the collection of different data types in a structure. Whereas this S name and E name represents the structure objects. The declaration here is two structure variables, that is structure objects or structure variables inside the data types inside the structure. It contains some members like ename, midnight, etc. And the declaration creates a variables called as sname and ename, each of which contains three members like first, middle initial, last, etc. So to access the members of the structure, we use the member access pointers. Like if we want to string copy the first name with a middle name, we can use a common function, string functions like string copy with the structure name last is equals to Sarkar and the first name is equal to Sudeshana. So we'll get it as Sudeshana Sarkar. So this is an example of a tagged structure. So this creates a structure. So this defines a structure tag name type that contains three members like first, middle, east and last, and the variables may be declared with the type as struct tag name, and the type def is normally used to give the names of a structure type. The structure type contains the name of the structure, the name type, the B name, A name, etc. We can use any number of variables to a particular structure. So this is an example of type def structure which contains name type, S name and E name. So this is an exact function of a structure. This is an exact how we use a structure in a C programming. Now look at this program very carefully. We have used a defined symbolic constant with a variable of max name. The value of the variable is equals to 40, and we have used a structure called as type def, in which the variables inside the structures are name, roll number, class test, midterm, final, grade. So the name is defined by character, the roll number is defined by the character, the class test is defined by integer, middle term is defined by integer, and the final is defined by the integer, and the grade is defined by the character. We have the structure object, student record, data record, etc. So it defines a new data type called as student record, and it does not declare any variable to a particular structure. Type def structures go to the top of the program. Int float, student record S1 and the student record all is of signal variables. Structure name type of AA name is also a variable that is used in a specific structure. We can declare a structure variable inside a structure. Before that, we have to use a struct keyword along with the structure name. We have to use it. So we can do in the structure is that you can assign the value to a structure, to the whole structure. We can use even a structure as a written type also, but we cannot compare the structure variables. We can compare the fields, but we cannot compare the variables of the structure. Like the objects of the structure that is written outside the curly braces cannot be compared with each other. You cannot directly scanf or printf the structure variables. You can use scanf or printf inside a structure but not outside the structure of structure variables. So this is a structure initialization that shows the student record of structure variables. S1 is equals to the name of the structure is V single, and the grade and the percentage and the marks, all these are given with the class term, midterm, etc. So this is an example of structure using a variable. We can understand where we can use scanf statement inside a structure. So we can also assign the whole structure, which is equal to assigning a string copy function. S1.classTest is equals to single.classTest. S1.midterm is equals to signal.midterm. S1.final equal to signal.final. S1.grade equal to signal.grade. So with that given structure, the member names must be unique. However, the members in different structures must have a same name. A member is always accessed through a structure identifier. Struct fruit, character name, inch calories. Struct vegetable, character name, inch calories. So complicated structures. A member of a structure can be an array of another structure. You can have an array of structures too. So thank you all for listening structures.